What if I told you that one decision by Johnny Depp in 2026 completely caught Hollywood off guard? And no, it wasn't a new movie announcement. It wasn't a scandal either. It wasn't even a surprise relationship. What shocked people was something very different. Something that made producers, studios, and even longtime fans stop and ask the same question. Did he really just doth it? If you've been keeping up with the long and crazy journey of Johnny Depp over the past few years, you probably know exactly why this moment feels so big. His career has been full of amazing highs, characters people will never forget, and some very public times along the way. After everything that happened during the famous Depp v. Heard trial involving Amber Heard, a lot of people thought they knew what Depp's next move would. Most fans and Hollywood insiders expected a big comeback. You know how it usually goes. A star goes through something tough, takes some time away from the spotlight, and then comes back with a huge blockbuster movie. It's almost like a script that Hollywood follows over and over again. But Johnny Depp didn't follow that script at all. Instead, he made a choice that surprised almost everyone in the business. Rather than jumping right back into big studio movies, Depp decided to focus on something totally different, something much quieter and much more personal. And that decision has been one of the most talked about celebrity moves of 2026. Understand why this shocked Hollywood so much. It helps to think about the second of career Depp has had. For decades, he was one of the biggest movie stars in the whole world. His roles weren't just popular, they were legendary. Millions of fans all around the world remember him as the amazing captain. Those films made billions of dollars and turned Depp into one of the most well-known faces in entertainment. When someone gets that famous, the expectation is pretty simple. Stay in big movies, lead giant franchises, keep the blockbuster machine going. But that's not the direction Depp chose. In 2026, instead of signing on to another huge Hollywood project, word started getting around that Depp wanted to focus on indie films and smaller European productions. These kinds of projects are very different from the big budget movies. Most people connect with him. Indie films are usually more artistic, they have smaller budgets. They care more about good storytelling and real characters rather than huge special effects or giant action scenes. For Somion, who once led some of the biggest movies in the world, this felt really surprising to a lot of people inside Hollywood. Studios were reportedly still interested in working with him. Producers believed audiences would still show up to watch a Johnny Depp blockbuster. From a business point of view, bringing him back into a major franchise could have been a really big deal, but Depp seemed to be thinking about something else. Instead of going after another giant paycheck or a huge spotlight, he seemed more interested in creative freedom. He wanted the Chanchetto pick projects that truly excited him. And when you think about it, that choice actually makes a lot of sense. After spending decades inside the Hollywood system, many actors reach a point where they want more control over their work. They want roles that push them creatively instead of just doing the same thing over and over. For Depp, this moment may be exactly that kind of change. It's kind of like an artist stepping away from the business world for a while to get back to what they love. Another important part of this history is where Depp has been spending his time lately. In the past few years, he has reportedly been living a lot of his life in Europe instead of Hollywood. One place that keeps coming up is the beautiful city of Madrid. Compared to Los Angeles, life there can feel much more chill. Things move slower, the culture is different, and maybe most importantly, the constant Hollywood spotlight isn't as crazy intense. People close to Depp say he really enjoys the quieter lifestyle that Europe gives him. There's less pressure, less media attention, and fewer photographers follow him around everywhere he goes. Instead of endless meetings with students, his days can focus more on creative work, music, and art. Yes, music. That's another side of Johnny Depp that a lot of fans sometimes forget. While most people know him as an actor, he has always really loved music. Over the years, he has performed some very famous musicians. One of the most well-known was with rock legend Alice Cooper in the band Hollywood Vampires. The group mixes classic rock energy with star power, and Depp Hazelways looked genuinely happy playing on stage. Because of that, some insiders think music may play an even bigger part in his life going forward. So, in many ways, the decision Depp made in 2026 isn't only about movies. It's about changing the whole pace of his life. Instead of rushing from one massive Hollywood project to the next, he seems to be focusing on the things that make him truly happy: creative projects, music, art, and a quieter lifestyle. Of course, fans had big reactions to this news. Some people were really excited about the idea. They loved the thought of Depp going back to smaller character-driven films. These kinds of movies let actors show deeper feelings and more complex performances. For fans who will love Depp's acting, this could actually be a great chance to see him take on really cool and interesting roles. But not everyone feels the same way. There is still one thing a lot of fans keep hoping for, and that is a return to the world of pirates. 4-year supporters all over the world have been posting online asking for Depp to come back as Captain Jack Sparrow. Social media petitions, fan talks, and endless rumors have kept that dream alive. People still talk about how perfect he was in that role. His humor, his funny walk, his wild personality. Captain Jack Sparrow became one of the most loved characters in movie history. Because of that, every new rumor about a possible Pirates of the Caribbean sequel gets a ton of attention right away. Every now and then, reports pop up saying studios might be looking at ways to bring the character back. But so far, nothing official has been confirmed, and Depp himself hasn't publicly said Dev's coming back to the franchise. So for now, his career seems to be going in a different direction than most people. Instead of heading straight back to Hollywood blockbusters, he seems to be building something new. Interestingly, some Hollywood experts think this move might actually be realistic. Focusing on indie films can sometimes help actors rebuild their a more artistic way. Smaller project-lit performers show what they can realize and remind audiences how talented they are. In fact, there are several examples of big stars who changed their careers by choosing unexpected roles. Some industry watchers have compared Depp's approach to how actors like Robert Downey Jr. and Matthew McConaughey turned things around. Both of those actors went through times where they stepped away from safe, predictable roles and started picking projects that really challenged them creatively. Eventually, those choices helped change the way audiences saw them, and that could be exactly what Depp is doing right now. And a thorough interesting detail is that Depp might not only be thinking about acting. Some insiders say he could explore directing or producing films down the road. If that happens, fans might start seeing projects that are actually created by Johnny Depp, not just starring him. That will be a totally new chapter in his career. Instead of just performing in front of the camera, he could be shopping the whole creative vision from behind the scenes. And for someone who has spent decades working in film, that kind of move would make total sense. So when people talk about Johnny Depp's shocking decision in 2026, the full story might be bigger than it looks at first. It's not just a bootstepping away from giant Hollywood productions. It might really be about changing what success means to him. At this point in his life, after years of fame, controversy, and massive movies, Depp may simply be choosing a path that feels more real and meaningful to him. And honestly, that kind of choice takes real guts, because walking away from the Hollywood system is never easy, especially for someone who has been right in the middle of it for so long. But sometimes the most surprising decisions are the ones that end up shaping the future the most. And that brings us to the big question. Do y'all think Johnny Depp made the right move, stepping away from big Hollywood blockbusters and focusing on smaller creative projects, or would you rather see him come back to a massive franchise like Pirates of the Caribbean one more time? Let me know what you think. I'd really love to hear your opinion and if you enjoy following celebrity stories, Hollywood behind the scenes moments, and updates about stars like Johnny Depp, make sure you check out the next video on the screen. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest stories from the world of entertainment. Because in Hollywood, there is always another surprise just around the corner.